Hello everybody. So in last class we have discussed regarding resource management. Okay, so how the resources are going to allocate within the industry people or within the subordinates, how the resources are going to plan, then how to distribute the cost, that is operation cost, then equipment cost, then production cost, everything we have discussed in detail. Okay, so in continuation with that, the last bit is inventory management. Okay, so the name itself says inventory management. So first we need to understand the terminology inventory, right? So here the term inventory is nothing but it's simply a stock of physical assets having some economic value which can be either in the form of materials, money or labors, right? Because in every industry or in every organization some assets are there in the form of money or in the form of labors, or that is assets. They are not going to be count, or they are not going to be a maximum one in terms of production wise, I can say, but their role and their implements will going to play a major in terms of improving the efficiency as well as the production or the productivity of the labor as well as materials. So these parameters are considered as inventories. So inventory is nothing but it's nothing but a stock. We are going to have some, for example, we are going to retain some members or faculty members or some persons as a standby laborers, because anything happens, or if any heavy goods we need to develop within the short period, then we are going to take use of those laborers. Okay, so by keeping these simple or small physical assets having some economic value which can be either in the form of material, money or labors. So they are comes under inventory. These inventory we need to manage, yes or no? So managing these inventory or small parameters will play a major role. So that is the problem of inventory management, is of maintaining an adequate supply of something to meet an expected demand pattern for a given financial investment, right? So we have to come across some financial investment with respect to that economical variations within the organization, within the industry. We need to concentrate these inventory parameters. So what about the finished products? So what about the spares available? So what about the other indirect materials available within the industry? Yes or no? So these are all comes under inventory. So inventory is one of the indicator of a management effectiveness on the materials management front. Yes or no? So these are the basic things of inventory management. Okay. Then in continuation with that, the next part is functions of inventory. Okay. So in that, the first thing we need to concentrate as functions of inventory or functions of inventory management. Right. Of course, in management, every particular parameter consists of their own functions, own applications, own behaviors. Yes, or similarly, so these inventory management system in turn consists of some basic functions. Okay, so they are nothing but the first one is demand and lead time uncertainties necessitate building safety stock so as to enable various subsystems to operate somewhat in a doubled manner. Yes. So we need to have that lead time. We need to manage the lead time as well as the demand. That part we need to concentrate more. Okay, that is the main function of inventory. And the second one is the time lag in deliveries also necessitates building of inventories. So we need to concentrate, being a manager, we need to concentrate the time lag in deliveries. Right? For example, if demand is of huge in nature but supply is minimum, automatically what we are going to do? We are going to call some other persons as a subcontractors. So we are going to in turn distribute those distribution of or reaching that demand. We are going to call some outsourcing. Yes, sir. We are going to call some outside members or else we can going to tie up with other subcontracts, and we can in turn deliver those things to the needy peoples. Yes or no? So this is also comes under the basic functions of inventory management systems. Okay. Then the third point is cycle stocks may be maintained to get the economics, to get the economies of scale, so that the total system cost due to ordering, carrying inventories and backlogging is minimized, right. So we need to concentrate the cycle stocks. Cycle stocks should be maintained. That indicates what? So we need to have, for example, if we have 100 number of products, let us say, okay, or 100 number of particular instrument or equipment we have in our company, right. So already our demand reaches to around 80, for example, or 70 to 80. Okay. So if we have a buffer of only 20 to 30 numbers, okay, already demand reaches up to 70 to 80%, let us say an example. So at the time of, if we have 20 number of products or 20 number of equipments in our hand, so we need to think about how to make a cycle arrangement. So we need to go through how the demand as well as supply will going to meet together, because for example next within some days, so there are chances of getting some more orders, but is there any possibilities are there for manufacturing within the stipulated time? That's also we need to concentrate. That's also comes under inventory. Okay. Then the next point says, when the demand is seasonal, it may become economical to build inventory during the periods of low demand to ease the strain of peak period demand. Yes. So that indicates what? So we need to understand the demand, because in some cases, for example, you can observe some online shoppings and all those things, so that at some, they are season wise. The sale is not going to be takes place throughout the entire year or throughout the entire month. Okay. During those seasonal period, there might be of increasing in demand takes place. Yes, sir. So we need to maintain, so how to manage that seasonal demand. That's also comes under inventory, because in some cases, because for example in Amazons or other shopping malls, shopping areas, they have already planned that, yes, during festival season, yes, the demand is reaches to so and so, then we may have sufficient laborers or workers in our hand. Then what they will do? They will in turn grab some contract basis laborers, so that they can in turn distribute their works to the contractors or subcontractors, so that their demand as well as supply will going to match. So that is what the seasonal demand we need to concentrate, right. So the next one or next function is, stocks may build up as pipeline inventory or work in progress inventory due to fitness of production and transportation rates. So we need to build the stocks in such a way that it should be have a pipeline inventory. For example, pipeline, it indicates what? It should be of normal flow. Within the pipe, you should not supposed to give a fullest flow. We should have some controlled flow in a pipeline, otherwise the pipe will burst, otherwise the leakage takes place. So what is that pipeline inventory? Is nothing but, so we need to plan the things in such a way that it should be of normal flow. Even though there are huge demand takes place, so we need to manage how to make it in a normal flow. So these are comes under functions of inventory management systems, right. So the next point is the factors affecting inventory. Yes. So the next point says something about the factors affecting inventory. Yes, of course, as we discussed earlier, inventory is nothing but it's of small items or small products. It might be of laborers or materials or money, whatever, equipments, machineries, tools and plants, everything is comes under inventory management. That indicates what? Their involvement is of minimum, but their effect should be huge in nature. Yes, sir, because in some cases even a small simple or small equipment may lead failure of building or failure of structure or failure of some other huge plants I can say, depends. So we should not supposed to neglect those small things, because they are in turn contributing more to the large parameters. Okay. So coming to the factors affecting inventory. So they are completely related to the cost. In that, the first one is purchase cost. Yes, so the first factors which affects the inventory is purchase cost or production cost. So being a manager, we should think about the production cost. What should be the rate of that particular item? For example, if I am going to design a mobile phone, or if I am planning for manufacturing of a mobile phone, so I should think about what should be the production cost. Yes, so to produce that particular mobile or particular gadget or particular item, so what should be the production cost? Yes, so that also affects more on inventory, right? So the second point is selling price. Yes, of course, selling price as well as production price or purchase price, they may not remain same. Yes or no? So purchase and sell, they have some difference between those things. Within that, there are so many other parameters which will in turn contribute to increase or decrease the amount of that particular item. Yes or no? So selling price is also one of the major factor which in turn influence the inventory management systems. Okay. Then the third one is procurement costs. Procurement. Yes. So how, at the time of procuring those materials, we need to store them in some place. For example, it might be in terms of cement, it might be in terms of even steel. We have to understand the procurement process, how we are going to procure it. Yes or no? For example, per bag of cement is 420 rupees. Let us say, because that's the selling price. Selling price is 420, but purchase for or the production cost may not remain the same. Yes or no? It in turn consists of so many other parameters. Yes or that we need to concentrate more. Within that, there are n number of subdivisions are there which will in turn affect these inventory management systems. Okay, so procurement cost also one of the important terminology which will in turn affects the inventory management systems. And the next point is carrying cost. Carrying cost. Yes, so because we need to even concentrate the carrying cost also, because for example, in some cases we are going to take the loading and unloading charges. Yes or no? Lead and lift charges. They are the additional charges which will in turn influence that particular item. For example, in some cases, some transportation wings are going to be shut down for 1 week or for 1 day. Okay, then the transportation facility may not remain same as the previous one. Then automatically the prices will going to hike. Yes or no? For example, if the petrol rate is going to be hike for 1 rupees, automatically the other dependent parameters are going to be increase their basic rates. Yes, sir, because that will in turn that amount is inventory. Increasing 1 rupee is not a big deal, but that will in turn going to affect to all the neighborhood production industries, because they says that of course the transportation cost will going to increase. Similarly, loading and unloading charges will going to increase. Similarly, it will in turn affects the selling price. Then procurement charges will going to increase. Likewise, all these things are interdependent with each other. If anything, a small bit of amount variation takes place, definitely there is a huge or tremendous changes takes place at last. Yes or no? So the next point is cost of operating and information processing systems. Yes, that is the third, that is the fifth point of factors that affects the inventory, right? That is the cost of operating and information processing systems. Yes, of course, we need to concentrate the cost of operating. Yes, that is operating cost as well as information processing system. For example, if I am completely concentrating on some electronic or mechanical basic of production industries, then their information processing systems will in turn consume some costs. Yes, sir. So that's also going to affect to this inventory management systems. Okay. So the next point is the shortage cost, right? So the next point is shortage cost, right? Shortage is nothing but, of course, if any minimization in production takes place, or if for example if demand and supply there is a huge difference takes place, then we need to concentrate some shortage costs. So we need to have some what you can say, we need to give some what we can say discount at some extent. Okay, that's also, that's of course the cost is of minimum, I can say, but that will in turn give you more effect on the selling process. Okay, so the next one is demand, right? So demand, of course, always we should think in such a way that supply and demand must run parallel. Okay, if within these two any one is of top level and the next one is of at lower level, definitely the system will not going to be balanced. Yes or no? So always demand and supply should be balanced one. Okay. Then the next point is ordering cycle. Ordering cycle is nothing but at what stage we need to order. That is very, very important. Of course, everything is with us. Yes, we have enough items. Yes, we have enough money, we have enough laborers, we have enough materials. But at what stage we need to order the next cycle? Yes or no? So that is very, very important. So we need to understand, being a manager, we should understand the ordering cycle. At what stage we need to order that particular item. For example, cement, what is the stage, what is the best time we need to order the next cycle. For example, steels, for example, basic materials, it might be bricks or sand, etc., etc. Okay, so that ordering cycle we should always keep in mind. Okay, then the last one is delivery lag or lead time. Delivery lag. For example, if we have already experienced it once, especially in some online issues. Okay, so once the ordered item is not delivered within the prescribed time, automatically we say that we are going to be at panic stage, right? So we are going to keep on tracking our product. We are keep on calling them. So what is the present stage? Okay, what is the present status of that particular item? Yes or no? So that is the delivery lag time. Okay, if any delays takes place, so how to manage that? Because that delay, in turn, it will give the more effects on industry. Yes, so because keep on delaying your item to public will definitely going to reduce the interest of that public towards that product. Yes or no? Definitely the next time they will in turn find the better way, or they may even approach the other industry or other what you can say agencies. Yes or no? So we should always keep the lag time or lead time of that particular product also. Okay. So the next is ABC analysis. So the last bit is ABC analysis. So first we need to understand what is this ABC technique or ABC analysis. Yes. So here we can have A, B and C. Yes, there is no much reason behind this ABC technology or ABC analysis. Okay, the concept is nothing but, for example, let us say we are running on organization or industry. Yes. So in some cases, of course, for example, I have a mobile manufacturing company. Let us say an example. Okay, so initially we have planned, yes, we will manufacture 1,000 mobile phones. Okay, before that we are going to design the suitable one, right? And in turn we are going to give it to the proof check purpose, right? They will in turn do all the testings on that, and finally they say that yes, this one is a good, so that we can launch it. So we will launch it, then we will in turn accept some for demands takes place, then we will in turn accept their quotations. Okay, probably around amongst 1,800 items were booked. Let us say an example. Okay, so even though we have 200 rupees, 200 numbers as a standby products. Yes or no? So how the next step should be takes place? Yes, we are going to think in such a way that 800 is already under supply, supply stage. So 200 we have a backup. Yes, if demand takes place more than 200 or even it may reaches to less than 200, depends upon those 800 persons. Yes, who is going to experience that, yes, the mobile, because they have to give some reviews. On that basis, the next supply, demand as well as supply will going to takes place. Yes, that is manufacturing as well as selling takes place. Yes, so we need to think about that 20%, because 80% is already at sold. So we have 20% in our hand. Okay, so how the next steps we need to follow? Yes, so it's nothing but ABC technology. So at last, for example, we have huge number of items, right, with a small demand, or we have a small number of items with a huge demand. How to balance these two? Okay, that will clearly concentrate by using this technique, that is ABC technique or ABC analysis. So it simply says that, so this is based on Pareto's law, which says that in any large group there are significant few and significant many. Yes or no? So we should always concentrate the thing that is in every group. It might be of organization, we can say, or it might be of industry, it might be of institution, it might be manufacturing industry. Yes, it might be any such organization. We can take it into consideration. There are some significant few. Yes or no? For example, if I am going to buy a fruits, yes, of course there are 100 fruits, all 95 fruits are good, no doubt, but there are 5 significant few. Yes, 5 fruits, they are not good. That indicates what? We should, of course, we should know how to separate them. Otherwise, those significant few will in turn give the more effect on this many parameters. Yes or no? Otherwise, this 95 will go to be converted to bad, no doubt. Yes or no? So that analysis is called ABC technique. So it's nothing but it says that, or it in turn concentrates on, in any large group there are some significant few and insignificant many, right? For example, only 20% of the items may be accounting for 80% of the total materials cost procured by the construction organization. Yes, here the 20% constitute the significant few that requires utmost attention, because the ordering process is of 20%, but that will in turn give you the effect of 80% of the materials cost or the total cost of that particular house or industry or building. Yes or no? So we should not supposed to neglect that minimum value, which will in turn give you more effect on the maximum one. Okay, that is the significant, ABC technology. Okay, usually ABC technology or ABC analysis we are going to mention in terms of a graph, a bar chart. Okay, right? For example, like this. So this is what ABC technology parameter, right? So which will in turn consist of x as well as y. So x axis, y axis, let us say this is origin. Yes, so we have percentage of number of inventory items, percentage of number of inventory items, and in y axis we can have percentage of average inventory value, percentage of average inventory value. Okay, so we have percentage of number of inventory items, and we have percentage of average inventory values. Okay, for example, at its initial stage, before going to start with how to draw this kind of ABC technology, first we need to understand the basic steps get involved in ABC technique, right? So the first one is, or to prepare an ABC type of curve, right, we should always follow the simple procedures, right? So in that, the first one is different materials required for the projects are identified and their estimated quantities are worked out. Yes, then the quantity estimate could be on the basis of either annual consumption or the project's total requirements. Yes, so we should always concentrate the total estimated quantities, total number of quantities required for that particular project. Okay, that's in our hand. So the next step is the unit rates of materials are estimated. So we should estimate their unit rates, right? Then the third stage says about the usage value for each of the materials are obtained by multiplying the estimated quantities and their unit rates. Yes, because one brick is of 3 rupees, for 1500 bricks, what should be the cost? Likewise, we need to have the total quantity required for that particular project as well as their unit price. Yes, because in some cases, if any one industry increased by 1 rupee, that is the cost of brick is 3 rupees right now, let us an example, or 5 rupees right now, next day onwards he will rise it to 6 rupees. The brick price rise will takes place only 1 rupees per number. Okay, but your ordering concept is not minimum. If thousands together we are ordering in one stretch, means definitely in terms of thousands we need to pay extra. Yes or no? That significant few will in turn give you a huge difference between your estimated cost. Yes, sir, because for residential building itself, if you require 5,000 number of bricks for construction of any one particular wing, if I increased it the rate by 1 rupees or 2 rupees, we have to pay 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees at additional charges, which is not at all encountered or added in our previously estimated report. That is nothing but how to manage the inventory management systems. Yes, that technique we can concentrate by using ABC technique. Right. So, the next step is the percentage usage cost for each of the material is arranged in descending order of their ranking, that is highest to lowest usage values. Okay. Right. So, the next step says about a curve mentioned here will be plotted, and the points on the curve at which there are some sudden changes or sudden slopes takes place. Okay, that point we need to concentrate. For example, let us say, so these x, y are divided in terms of 10, I can say 10, 20, 30, 40, so on. Similarly, here we can have 10, 20, 30, so on, percentage. Okay, initially we are going to order 70%, for example, 70% of the percentage of inventory values, right? That is the percentage, I mean the percentage of number of inventory orders we are going to place it 20%. So, 20% of 70%, let us take it as first order. Okay. So, that we are going to plot it in a graph like this. Yes. Right, 20% of 70%. Right. So, the next stage I am going to order as, of course, next stage remaining 20%, because finally at last it has to reach with 100% in both the directions. Yes or no? So, initially significant few to significant many. Yes or no? Then we can say next remaining 20% at 40, of course, I am going to order, even though if it reaches 80% or some cases if it is of 60, that we need to concentrate, whether it is related to minimum or maximum. Remaining 10%, this is already 60, 70, if remaining is 80%, of course the next stage is 80, here 20% 80, this would be the point. So, this would be your second stage of ordering, right. Then at last remaining at 80%, 90% if I order, it may reaches to a certain stage like this. Yes, then if you are going to draw a line which will in turn join your origin O to this first point, then the second order point and the third order point. Yes. So, this is what the progress takes place in inventory management systems. That itself we are going to indicate it as this is A and this portion is B and this portion is C. That indicates what? This first significant few, this portion we can call it as A. That is first order, 20% of 60% or 70% or 50% depends. Even in some cases it may vice versa. Okay, 70% of 20% average value. That's also lead in the same direction, but it has to be in a next to next order. Okay, if it's going to be fall down, for example, next can say we don't have enough sufficient what we can say inventory value. Okay, then automatically we are going to minimize. Right, then the slope is of steep downward. Yes, whether it's ascending or descending, that we need to concentrate. So, on that basis we can decide what should be the next order. If there are some downfall takes place, then ups takes place, likewise. Okay, so we need to concentrate. So, how the flow takes place, what should be my next order, or what should be the terminology I am going to prefer for the next order. Okay, that is clearly mentioned by observing this ABC technique. Yes. So, according to an empirical approach, A class items account for about, in this case, 70% of the usage value, right. Then B class items of about 20% of the usage value, because see, remaining here we have consumed 70%, remaining is only of 10 or 20% I can say. If I have concentrated 10 here or 90, 20%, then second B is of 90% of the average usage value. Yes or no? Similarly, class C or C class items are about only 10% of the usage value, because initially we have ordered 70%, remaining only 30%, 10 once and 10 once, likewise we are going to order it, 20 plus 10. Yes or no? So, this is what this technique we can call it as ABC analysis or ABC technique. Okay. So, what is the stage we need to order it, and what is the stage we need to go ahead with ordering cycle. Okay. So, this is the illustration of ABC analysis, right. Thank you.